Hey Aries, this is Perrymore Tarot's daily reading for October 29th, 2025. This is for Aries. I just had like a brain. I was like, September? This is for Aries. Oh. Okay, so Aries, we have Ascendant Masters and we have Playing It Safe. This is telling me that you are in a space now where you are needing to just keep it simple, right? You know that the best thing to do is to keep things very simple with people. It's either yes or no. They're showing you being in a space where you're getting a lot of attention, a lot of admiration, a lot of recognition for what you do, for the heart that you bring to a situation. Right at the point where you may start to get disappointed. Like, is anybody not noticing that I'm doing X, Y, Z? That I'm taking it there. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I feel that people are recognizing you for being in alignment. Okay. You're this person that seems to be coming off as like you're living a dream. You're living a fantasy dream kind of thing. You may not see that. You may say, I'm still trying to figure it out. But the best thing that you can do is show gratitude and happiness for where you are. That's the safest thing you can do. I feel like if you complain, people are going to lose it on you because they're like, how can you complain? You look good, you smell even better, your life seems to be great. I don't, whatever you're doing in your life right now, people are looking at you going, how lucky Aries kind of vibe. Okay. If your friends, especially, even if you're saying, I don't have friends. Okay. Maybe associates, people that you run into, people that you may say hello to. Perhaps you always go to a store, you stop at a gas station, these people see you, they're like, Aries just seems to be so lucky. This person seems to have um, a level of, like, they may feel like you have privilege. Okay, so I'm seeing a privileged energy. They're telling you to just do your thing, walk your own journey, but it's definitely time to collaborate, which tells me that it's time for you to reach out, speak to people, not necessarily reach out like, oh, I need help with this or whatever. You could do that too, because people are going to jump to help you because they really do feel like if being with you would probably give them the same energy of help or results that you are getting. The universe totally, you got to say this, the universe totally supports every thought I choose to think and to believe. You've got to choose to believe that you are healed, healing, that you're walking the journey that you're meant to walk, that your life is transforming into a place where you are being celebrated. You got to choose to believe that about yourself. You cannot afford to walk around going, but my life is crap and I can't seem to get it together. You can't afford to complain about where you are. I really feel like you are going to be, if you were to start talking crap about your situation, people are going to start like getting upset with you, or they may start telling you how great your life is. They may be like, seriously, you're so blessed. I know how that sounds. Okay. Because geez, man, right? Because it's you living your life, right? They're like, you look so strong, and you're like, inside I feel like a 90-year-old man or woman or whatever. I feel like a 90-year-old. They're like, but you look so great. You got to stop saying that. So you have Six of Wands, Queen of Cups, Nine of Cups, Two of Cups with Ascendant Masters. Ascendant Masters is about applying knowledge that you've learned over time. And also the things like you've seen happen, like you know what not to do based on what someone else has done, or you know exactly what steps to take because of what someone else has done. Usually, Ascendant Masters is about an example in our lives. Typically, it represents like our Jesus, our Buddha, those higher those higher self spirits, those spirits that have transcended space and time, that have had an earthly experience. That's who they're talking about typically, like your Moses, your Isaiahs, you know your Gandhis, your Buddhas, your Mother Teresa type thing that people revere. Those saints, right? Those that people revere. That's usually what Ascendant Master speaks of, and it speaks of having your own experiences, being validated by, your own experience kind of validates their experience. You know how they coincide, but they're showing that you found some way to be successful doing something that you love. And if you are not there, then you may discover what that is right now. You may say, you know what, I could probably be really successful doing this thing that I love, I always wanted to do. I'm seeing angel number 222 in this, and it's about alignment. And usually 222 is a questioning of oneself. Like, how do I move forward towards my life's true calling? What do I do? And usually the answer is about following our interests. Something like, as soon as your interests are piqued, what makes me happy, right? Something that makes you happy is the safest bet to do, right? Usually when we have options in front of us, usually, when you in America, you go through grade school, you go high school and all that stuff. You go through each of these periods. Once you hit high school, they're starting to pressure you. You're going to college when you leave here. What are you going to college for? Most people, there's a thing that they love and a thing that they know will make them money. They don't love it. They're just saying, I'll learn to love it because the money will help me learn to love it. But this, whatever this option is something that you love to do, but it also will bring you auspicious profits. But you'll want to do something that your interests are just like, it's like, I'm so interested in this. Okay. A lot of the interests that we have as people, what's basically within us naturally, is not represented by what is offered in higher education typically. I noticed that there are some people that are just extremely caring, and that's just what they do. That's just who they are as a person. They're just a very caring individual. And so where people would usually place them is in healthcare. And they may not love everything about healthcare. They may say blood creeps me out. I don't like bodily excretion, none of that. I don't like those, the things that we excrete out of our bodies. I don't do that, right? But I care about people, so therefore, what can I do? Because this could be you could be a healer, but you're not a conventional healer. You know what I mean? And that would be something interesting to you. All I have to do is put my hands on you, and I sit with you, and I bring someone comfort, and they heal. That's something different, and we don't have anything that would actually fully encompass what most of our interests are. I notice that everyone is quite different. Um, Growing up, you're just like, well, there's only so many things that you can, so many fields that you can go into. So they're wanting you to follow your interests. Okay, following your interests is going to lead you or help you to discover your life's true purpose. And so that's what they're bringing up here. Playing it safe with the Ten of Cups and the Towers, like, it will shock you that something is makes you happy, and it's interesting, and it seems like a dream to do. And I feel that people look at you that way, like, you're just living the life, man. You're just living a life, you know, ma'am. You're doing it. I feel that your ancestors are celebrating you or clapping behind you. You may feel like, if your grandparents could see you now, or your great grandparents could see you now, or maybe even your parents, if they're not here any longer, you may feel like they are so proud of you. You may feel it on you, like they're around you right now. You know the veil is about to be very thin. We've got a few days before it's thinned out. So you may be able to sense your family around. You may be able to smell them. You may be able to, like, smell their scent, or smell like the scent of the home that we used to live in, type of thing. Or there may be some things that come up that just, maybe their picture flips over, or something very, ethereal happens. And so I'm seeing that you need to be very calm, and you need to connect your body, your soul, your mind. You want to use lavender. I feel like a lot of you with lavender, there's a few things that come up with that, and that usually or typically is like the third eye chakra and maybe the crown chakra. And so I'll touch that in a second, but you want to use lavender, the scent, the flavor, the actual herb, or the color. You could light lavender scented candles, lavender colored candles. You might want to wear the scent or use lavender scented things. If you're going to take a nice Epsom salt bath, you want to use it, like, lavender, to help you to connect. Okay. They want you to imagine you and all the people around you being healed, the relationships, especially if they've passed on too. Imagine that is healed. it's almost pushing that energy on you. It's like, we are healing this. You want to take a chance on people around you. I feel that it's really important that you start to nurture the bonds of friendships around you too. Okay, that's important to collaborate with. It feels like there are people around you with gifts that are directly related to your interests, directly related to your life's purpose. Stuck energy is the King of Pentacles and Temperance. Some of you may be stuck doing something for money instead of being having free time to do something more creative or more tailored to your interests. So there's a stuck energy here of spirit wanting you to see that there's a purpose even to the things that you do for money. So a lot of times our interests or our life's purpose is, there's little nuggets of purpose throughout everything that we do. And personally, I could say for me that wherever I worked, even though it had nothing to do with this, I learned a lot about signs, because that would be one of the first things I'd ask people when I'd meet them. What is your sign? And then I would talk to them. And it was like I waited tables. I did a bunch of different. I worked at a college, and I did all these. I worked at Home Depot, and I worked at this place and that place. And even though none of them had crap to do with any of this, right? Nothing to do with any of this. I learned more at Home Depot about plants, about the value of plants and what they do. Um, I learned a lot about things to kind of like it all tied together in the end. So they're wanting you to see that you're not wasting your time, that there are all of the resources for your like that are for your life's purpose directly on the path of interests. Everything has something to pull from. There's something, a little bit of something in all of it that you're doing. Even if you feel like, I can't even do what I feel interested in doing because I work so much. So, and that seriously, I see this, and it directly kind of reminds me of how that worked out for me. So I'm only bringing that up to say that, even in all that, I got to do field study. I got to learn more about signs from meeting different types of people, um, so, or different kinds of plants, or going to a different spot and learning something else about something else. And it taught me more and more each place I went. I had time to study at Georgia State. I worked at a college at one point, and then I moved all the way. I moved around so much, and so you get to learn more about something that you're interested in, or you meet people that would they are also interested in the same thing, or they know something about what you're interested in. You have teacher, tower, and star. Now, the teacher aspect is about a person, shockingly, a healer. This is a person who has information about something that you're interested in, but this also could be a person around you that has found their purpose. Shockingly, one day they're just humdrum, I'm typing over here, and then the next day they're in and they're so passionate about something they're doing. This person is teaching you to have faith. This would be someone who is teaching that energy, that you should always have faith, because your purpose could fall in your lap. Before you know it, you are healthier, you look happier, your skin's glowing, right? Your eyes are bright. This would be someone who's showing you this. Now, I'm seeing Pluto placements in the 11th house placements. And 11th house, of course, represents Aquarius, and Pluto is usually represented by Scorpio or represents Scorpio. But this is talking about how you could experience a rebirth through your community or through the people that you are around regularly. That much is very clear. But people feel like you're very privileged for some reason, right? For some reason, I don't mean it to derogatory. Excuse me. When it comes to love, some of you, you may be in a romantic connection, or maybe you want to be in a romantic connection. The person that you may want to be in a connection with, there may be some issues, not with you and them necessarily, could be with you and them, but they may be broken by something, grieving something. You may also be, and it's important to imagine you and that person healed. Visual Visualization is a very powerful tool to use to manifest things. And so you'll want to try to imagine a lavender colored light over you and that person, healing them, right? Put a lot of energy into that, or a lot of imagination into it, and it helps. That's what they're throwing out here. Now, like I said, lavender represents the third eye chakra or the crown chakra. And so I would say more the crown chakra, but if you are experiencing any of these, you want to use any of this, right? So when it comes to the third eye is usually indigo or a purple, and then crown chakra is usually like a violet or a white. So it's a cross between some of this. I would say more crown chakra, but the crown chakra is it it corresponds with the pineal gland. It regulates sleep wake cycles, right? um, Spiritual awakenings. It represents the brain, the nervous system, and it's located near the top of the head. So when it's balanced, you experience some spiritual enlightenment, right? Divine, you understand a divine wisdom. I would say this is more a crown. Yeah, the connection to the universe. You feel a connection to all things. You experience transcendence. You know, you experience a moment where it's like you realize that everything's connected. We're all just stardust, and you have spiritual insight. But when it's blocked, you feel spiritually isolated. You may feel a detachment from reality, like you're going insane, and you may feel like you're unable to connect with others. You're unable to connect things to you. You may feel like you're just alone in this world, that you don't even belong here, type of thing. The issues that you could also, when it's imbalanced, the issues, or when it's blocked, that you could experience would also be like headaches, mental fatigue, like just exhausted. You can't even think, you don't even want to hear anything because you can't think. Migraines, depression, some neurological disorders, like you may have insomnia, or you may sleep so long and never feel like you got enough rest. You may feel very confused, a lack of direction in life. Like, well, I don't even think there is a purpose for me, and always feel like you're in an existential crisis, like a midlife crisis or something similar, right? So the things that you would want to do to balance this out is, of course, you would want to use lavender. The oils, the scent that you would want to do is like lavender, rose, sandalwood, frankincense, myrrh. And you could use these in a diffuser. You could use the soap scent, the whatever scent, or the spray. I usually use, um, since I live where I live. I don't live anywhere near anything like conventional, like a store, or like even a metaphysical store. That's a trip. Okay, I got to get up and I got to plan that. um but Zoom product, ZUM, is widely available where I live, and it's close. The scent is close. That's the So I would use that. You could use that as a scent. They have all the different scents. You can always find rose scents anywhere, right? You would want to wear the stones, or hold them in your hand, touch them. You would want to wear them in your pockets, on your person somewhere. Undergarments, like I see people wearing them in their undershirt, right? um, or you would want to have them on your desk at work, or in your car, in your bag, in your purse, whatever. And that would be clear quartz, diamond, selenite, and amethyst. And but you can feel it if you were to lay a stone in the center of your palm, and just feel it. Just give yourself a second to just feel the difference, and to see how things open up for you. I almost would want to say moldavite, but moldavite's so powerful that, man, I tried this in a store, my maybe 10 years ago. Tried moldavite. Was like, oh, I want to get that. Let's just do it. Boy, when I tell you, I was surprised my nose wasn't bleeding. They took it from me so quick. They were like, oh, yeah, let me take that. Um, but the diet you want to do is more of a light plant-based diet, no processed foods if you can help it, okay? Or fast for a little bit. Give yourself a chance to cleanse everything out, right? You want to stargaze, you want to meditate silently, or alone, if you are able to do this silently, and use bells. Bells are something that's like a clearing. It would help very much with this. You want to listen to 963 hertz if you could find it on YouTube. I usually go to YouTube. I always say that I usually go to YouTube because, I mean, I'm old school and I don't know any other place to look. If you guys know any other place, drop it in the comments so I could find it, because every so often I try to balance myself out. And oftentimes too, what I was told by someone who I've tried this, do a chakra zip as well. So that would require you, I don't know if you're flexible or you have someone else clasp your hands together and go from the tailbone on up to the neck to zip it open. You could do that as well. And so yeah, yep. Anything else? Do I see that? Nope. You could be dealing with a Cancer, a Virgo, a Scorpio, Sagittarius, or an Aquarius. So you could be dealing with a Gemini, Cancer cusp. I'm seeing Cancer, Leo cusp, Leo, Virgo cusp, Scorpio, Sagittarius cusp. And if you're not dealing with those signs, which you don't have to be, those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.